Let's do this. Let's do this, Brutus. Yes, 2 o'clock live. It's 2 o'clock live. Hey, 2 o'clock live. It's 2 o'clock live. I hope y'all are here and ready to watch some 2 o'clock live stuff. Right? We're 2 o'clock live. We're here to talk about options thing. Arlissa is my name. Option selling is my game. This is what we do here. This is what we do. I am an options seller and an option seller coach. I help those who'd like to learn how to trade options and sell options. I help them to understand how to do that. That's what I do. Educator2Trader is my handle in all the places. You can look for me everywhere at Educator2Trader. Hey, Jamie, I'm all over the place. I am in TikTok. I am in Instagram. I am actually in LinkedIn. I don't really do a lot over there. I got to go over there more often. Instagram, Facebook, Educator2Trader, Arlissa Pinkelton. I'm on YouTube, obviously. And if you have not subscribed, then please subscribe to the channel. Don't play. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel and let's get it done. Let's get it done, son. Yes. We have some good information we're sharing today. Some people ask me, why be an option seller? Why be an option seller? Hey there, people. Jamie's here. Adrian is here. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Saida is here. Good afternoon. Saida was here on time at 2 o'clock. I had to push back till 2:05 because I was working my technicals. I was working my technology out and needed 5 more minutes. Can I get 5 minutes? I needed 5 minutes. So once I got my minutes, I was able to go live. That's what I'm doing right now. We're going live. So we're going to talk about, hey there, Mind Your Own Glow. I like that name. Hey there. We're going to talk about why sell options. You see everybody talking about buying options and whatever, but I want to talk about why be a seller. Why be a seller? Because, some people are like, I'm not doing that. Why should we do that? But what is that even? What is that? Not only I'm not doing it, what is it? What is that you talking about? What is this selling stuff? So, selling options, basically you have buyers when think about buying and selling just in regular real life. When you're a buyer of options or a buyer of whatever, you buy it, you spend your money, you purchase it, they give it to you, right? When you're selling options, you're the person who does the offering. When you're the seller, you give them the offering. I'm offering you this option as a seller, right? So I'm trying to really think about a good way, a way like I could show the movement of things, but that example is not coming to me quick enough. So maybe it'll come to me as I keep talking about it. But I do have 5 reasons why we sell options versus buy them. And if y'all hang on, y'all know if y'all hang on to the end, what happens at the end if you hang on to the end? We generally go through a selling trade at the end. So that means you got to ride out. You got to ride with me until we get to that point. I appreciate y'all for being here, though. I surely appreciate you all for showing up each afternoon to just enjoy my antics, because that's what they are. But at the heart of it all, I'm trying to help the people. I'm really just trying to help the people, me included. I'm not just trying to help random people. I'm trying to help me too. Ain't no shame in the game. I'm learning how to trade options, though I've known for a while. But I still learn new stuff all the time. I'm not an expert at this. Speaking of which, I want to make sure I say that this is not investment advice in any form, right? I'm here to help. That's what I'm here to do. I understand these strategies. I'm willing to share them with the people who are willing to listen. And when we got questions, I'm willing to help you manage through the questions. That's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm here to do. All right. So let's get going. I want to share my screen so you can see my slide I created, because I created a slide. Should I go here first or here first? I always struggle with which one of those things to do first, but we're just going to make it happen. Just going to make it happen. I'm going to allow, but I want this screen. All right. And I want this graphic. Reduce this for a minute and grab this so I can see. There we go. There we go, go. You know what? It probably would be smart if I would like minimize everything on my screen before I start this up. But, you know, we go and we grow. I'm learning along the way with this whole YouTube thing too, because y'all know I've been YouTubing for a minute, but not a lot of minutes. Y'all probably can tell she ain't been here very long. No, but she's learning every day, right? Let's look at that. Why should we sell options? Why should we sell options? Well, the main reason why we sell options is because they're easy to understand. Selling options, they are easy to understand. I want to change that to this one. Yeah. Options are easy. Selling options are easy to understand. Now, understanding options may or may not be simple. Some people may not understand, may not be cool or pick up on learning options quickly. I feel like it can be straightforward in your learning, and your learning can be more tailored and made more succinct when you're only going down one path. If you're going down one path of selling. When I first started trading options back several years ago now, when I first started, I started as a seller. I didn't know all the stuff, which probably was a good thing because I didn't know what I didn't know, right? Some of that was good, some of it maybe not so much. But I started learning as a seller. So all I learned was seller stuff. I did all the other extraneous things that go along with options. I didn't learn them initially. Some of them I ended up not needing, but some of them I probably could have used, right? I probably could have used some of them, but most of the stuff I ended up probably not needing. Mind your glow, mind your own glow. If you want to find us, come over to YouTube so you can see my screen. Come over to YouTube at Educator2Trader is my YouTube channel. Come over so you can see us live, and make sure you subscribe when you get there. Yay. But they're easy to understand. They're very straightforward. Selling options is very straightforward, right? You can, the information, the strategies, I feel like are straightforward. You can get to some advanced ones that do require more, I don't say maneuvering, a little more learning, like credit spreads requires a little more to learn, but you don't have to start there. You don't have to start with the stuff that's difficult, or it ain't difficult, even more, involved than selling puts and selling covered calls. Those two strategies, very straightforward. Very straightforward. Few steps, boom, boom, you there. You don't need any special indicators in order to sell options. When I started buying, we needed RSIs and QREs, and I'm just naming stuff. RSI really is a thing. You needed EMAs, which I kind of use my EMAs a little bit. They're on my chart. I don't really use them that much, but they're just on my chart. But when you're buying, you need a lot more things. Are we oversold? Are we overbought? Are we, oh my, me with the way my attention is set up, I can't have all that stuff on my screen, and then I got to go remember what means what. And when this is going up and this is going down, what does that actually mean? And what if you got two things and they're doing something different? What does that actually mean? I can't. I know my limitations, and that's a limitation for me. I can't have a whole bunch of different things. I need something that's straightforward, because I'm going to glance at it and look a bit, and I want to be a straightforward, boom, boom, boom. I'm very methodical too. I want to see step, do. That's just me, right? And I'm not the only one. No, that's just you. Everybody else don't need all that. Yeah, I ain't the only one. Some of y'all get distracted doing stuff. In the middle of a text message, we'll get distracted and be off on something else. I'm guilty, by the way. I'm me. That's me. It will be in the middle of a text message, sit my phone down for something else, or go over to another tab and forget all about the text message. Like, ugh. Anyway, no special indicators are needed when you're selling options. You can really just use the chart. When you're charting, I mean, when you're working with selling, you can just use the chart. That's really all the indicators you need. We use a few others, minor ones, but they're not necessary, right? Selling options is perfect for passive income, for creating passive income. You always see people talking about passive income. Well, I'm going to say one thing here, that you cannot get to passive income without it being active first. Every passive income stream was active at one time, even if it was only short-term active. If you decide you're going to buy and hold, that can be passive. But the active part of that first was you needed to research the stocks. You needed to know which ones you were going to get. You needed to, do a little background information, learn how to put in trades, use a broker. There's active things to do, right? It's not exceptionally active, but any passive income stream was active first. Dividend buying stocks, anything else. Same thing with selling options. Same thing with selling options. It's active first. In that, you have to do the learning first. Two perfect selling options strategies that are wonderful for passive income is, hey, Miss Barbara, is selling puts. They're called cash secured puts. And selling covered calls. These are two pretty straightforward, very straightforward, not pretty straightforward. They're very straightforward methods to get to passive income. I'm typing, that's why I'm looking to the right. My little comment box is way over there on the big screen. It's way over there. Yep, I spelled it right. Educator2Trader.com. Those are two strategies that are perfect for passive income. And if you're looking for how to do them, you can check out that website. I gave you my website and go there and grab the course and watch those videos and be ready to trade those today. Tomorrow. The video is going to take you maybe about an hour to watch. They're not super long, maybe 2 hours. I think the cash secure put video in total maybe 2 hours. But you can use those for passive income. Week after week, you rinse and repeat selling puts. When you have 100 shares, you sell covered calls. And there's some of you have positions in your portfolio already where you may already have 100 shares of something. If you already have 100 shares, you can sell covered calls on that right away. But I also teach you in the course I teach, the training, I teach you about how to identify low cost, depending on how much you want to pay, low cost covered calls options. You get those and you sell covered calls on them and you're in business immediately. Immediately, right? Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Okay. So when you're selling options, I have found option selling to be more consistent. If you're in this chat with me and you've been a seller and a buyer and you know that selling to be more consistent, put yes in the chat. Option selling is just more consistent. It's almost like the math when in the movie The Hidden Figures, the girl said the math is always dependable. I think that was Taraji Henson is the person who played the actress, but she said math is always dependable. That's like option selling. It's a lot more dependable because you follow the strategy, you do a good repeatable strategy, and you can rinse and repeat that. Much more consistent returns. If you're doing buying, you got to hope to enter right. You got to hope to exit right. You got to pick the right stock. You got to pick it when it's moving. There's lots of different moving parts when you're buying options. And I'm coming from a place of experience. I'm not just making these things up like out of the sky. This is not what I read about. I was buying options too. Right? I didn't just read about this. I actually lived it. I actually lived it where I was like, you don't enter the right time. You don't exit the right thing. Your trade's going good. You ain't watching. I go teach a class and come back. And if I haven't exited at the right time, my profits are now poof. What the world? It happened more times than I'd like to admit. All righty. Option selling, though, I found to be a lot more consistent. A lot more because the guidelines, I think it's because the guidelines are simple. You're going to enter at this particular time. When stock is doing this, you're going to enter. If stock is coming down, you're going to enter the put credit spread side or the put side. If stock is going up, you're going to enter the cover call or the call credit spread side. Simple. If the stock is going in the middle, it's just consolidating. You do a put credit spread and a call credit spread. Make money on both sides. Like I show y'all every afternoon when we do XSP. The great thing is with XSP, you can do this, or SPX, even either one of those. You can do this every single day. Every single day you can pull in 10, 12% return on your collateral. What does that look like? Well, 12% on XSP looks like, $12. People say that ain't no money, but $12 a day for doing nothing but letting your money sit there for a few hours. And you can do multiple contracts. You want $50, you do 4 contracts. That's $48. You want more money, you just do more contracts. And I know I'm saying like do more contracts, like it's no big deal. Well, it's if you have a strategy that you can repeat, you got good entries or good stat, criteria for when you enter, then you can rinse and repeat it like that. Okay. Option selling, I believe, is more consistent. It's easy to understand. That's why we sell options. No special indicators are needed. For those of us who are easily distracted and got focus issues and attention deficit problems, we don't need all those indicators. For me, too many things get me distracted. I can't. Perfect for creating passive income. We all want some passive income. That's why people talking about, I'm going to buy real estate. Well, I'm telling you, baby, real estate ain't passive. It ain't passive. My family has owned real estate. They own real estate right now. It is not passive. You have to do some active stuff while the person is there and paying their rent and doing all that stuff. Yes, it's passive. When the person move out and your carpet is ruined, or you just got to replace it because they live there. I mean, even if it's not ruined, if the people lived in the house, the carpet's going to probably have to be replaced. They might have had little children and they've written on the walls. You got to go in and paint. Stuff falls apart, right? Stuff falls, stuff breaks. This is a whole different era. Stuff them wash machines don't hold up like they did in the 70s and the 80s. These 2022 washing machines will fall apart on you. And when it does, you got to call the man to come fix it, the man or the woman, because there's women fixing washing machines too these days. Or you got to replace it. Calling the little guy who does a refurbishment up the road, he might not be to fix some of this new stuff. Maybe not. But you can do REITs. If everybody's interested in REITs, I think REITs is a lot more passive way to do real estate. But even if you're doing REITs, real estate investment trust, even if you're doing REITs as passive income for dividend money, you're still going to need to research that. So that's still active. It's active from the standpoint that you're going to need to research them in order to find what REIT you want to be a part of. All righty. You can win in 3 ways. Let me keep moving. We sell options because we can win in 3 ways. You can win 3 different situations. Hey there. Everybody who's joining on Instagram, y'all come on in. If you want to see my screen, you got to go over to YouTube at Educator2Trader and you can see the screen. Make sure you subscribe while you're over there. You win in 3 ways. If you've got a trade going, a selling trade, if the price goes the way you want it to go, you make money. You win your trade. If the price just sits still, if price just consolidates and dances around and doesn't really move, you still win your trade. If price comes towards your strike some, but doesn't go past your strike, you still win your trade. And if you can win in 3 different ways, when you're buying, you can only win if it does what you want it to do and keeps doing it. If you're buying a call, you need the price to go up and it needs to keep moving up. If it just goes up and quits and just goes up and sits still, then your money's just getting chomped away. And definitely buying 0 DTE which I'm a zero DTE fan. I can open and close trades as a seller every single day. But when you're buying zero DTE, you need that price to keep moving. Whether it's you need to catch the momentum or the volatility of the morning, of the power hours, you got to do that. You can't even really work that last power hour unless you're real sure, because you're too so close to expiration that theta is eating on your premiums at the same time the price is moving. May not be the best move if you're buying, but when you're selling, I can pick a trade I want to do. Shoot, it could be 355 in the afternoon, because theta decay or time decay is our friend. Entered a trade yesterday, it was 357. I entered a trade on SPX at 357 as a seller, collected my little $40, and I was in the market for 3 minutes. 3 minutos. All I had to figure out was where was price not going to go in the next 3 minutes. And we got a strategy for that. I got a strategy for that. So if you're like, I want to know about how to do that, look, that ticker running across the bottom is the strategy that we use every single day. You can trade SPX in the morning. You can trade SPX in the noonday. You can trade SPX in the evening or late in the market timing, 3:45 or later in the power hour. We got strategies for all that. You can do XSP. That always wants to chumble up in my mouth. You can do XSP during the day. Similar outcomes. Okay? You win in 3 different ways. That's really good. If the price does what you want, you win. If the price just consolidates, you win. If the price comes towards you but doesn't pass your strikes, you win. You know exactly how much money you're going to make. Now, some people will say when you're selling, you only make a certain amount of money, and that's all you can make. This is true. But if I know I'm going to make $50, let's say, on a trade, and I really want 200, that means I need to make sure I can do 4 contracts, pull in my 200. I know exactly what I'm going to make. I'm not hoping for it. I'm making a concerted effort and an informed decision to generate the resources I want out of my trades. When you're buying, you pay to play. If it goes your way, then wonderful. You might come out with the profits. If it doesn't go your way, then when it goes backwards, and you might come out with a loss. Now, I don't want anybody thinking that you can sell options and you never lose, because that is not accurate either. I'm not trying to, boop anybody's heads up like, we never lose. No, we do. We do. If the price comes back to you, because SPX and XSP, they can be wild. So sometimes, depending on how you work the strategy, you can have some losses. And some of it may be market, but most times, everybody look in the camera, most times when we lose in the market, it's because we, 1, didn't follow the strategy, 2, we got greedy. It's one of those psychologicals I talk about sometimes. Greed, the green-eyed monster, will have you jumping into stuff too heavy. We talk about risk management, jumping into trades too early and not really getting a good setup, not anticipating what's going to happen and not letting it happen. And then when it doesn't go your way, we hold on. If it starts going opposite your way and you can't see it doing what you want it to do, you divorce that trade. We cut off you cut off the ones that are not doing what you want to do, and you go on to the next thing. But we are humans, and we would try to hold on. Let me hold on. It's going to come back, and it might, but it might not. It might not come back. The last reason why we sell options is that it doesn't require much watch time. If you're doing cash secure puts and covered calls, you turn those trades on and they just run. You don't have to watch them. They do what they're going to do. I've talked before about when you're selling puts is like a no lose strategy. And it's no lose because when you're selling puts, you either make money, period, or you make money and you get stock. If the trade goes your way, you keep the premiums that you earned. If the trade doesn't go your way, or if the price comes down into your strikes, then you end up with 100 shares at the price you selected. You select the price you're willing to pay. I'm willing to pay for these shares at this amount of money. That's the strike you pick for puts. So the trade just does its thing for the week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever period of time you want to do. And when it's over, you either end up with, you keep all the money, or you get your shares. For me, generally, when I do cash secure puts, I'll close them between 50 and 70%. And once they've gotten the profit target I'm after, I go ahead and close them out, release my buying power, and move on to the next thing. Sometimes I may enter the same stock again on another put. Sometimes I move on to something else. Like I was doing Mara. Me and Mara was riding along real nice. Mara started climbing and climbing and climbing. Next thing I knew, Mara was in the 16s and 17s. And I was like, okay, wait. I don't know if I want to put that much capital in reserve on Mara. So I switched over and started doing put credit spreads. I released, the last time it released my capital, I said, okay, I'm good. I'll take my capital and go put it on some other things. But it doesn't require much watching. This is good because most of us don't have time to sit and watch trades all day. I teach from 9 to 12:30. Then I commute home for 45 minutes. So I don't really get into the market or into them. Then I come in here and I do my 2 o'clock live at 2 o'clock. So I'm home maybe 30 minutes by the time I get on here with you all. So I don't have time to watch the market or watch trades all day long. I'm trying to engage in the future mathematicians I'm teaching at the university. Trying to be focused on them. Trying to. All right. If there was some questions or comments, y'all please put them in the chat. I'm going to switch over to Thinkorswim, see if we can find us a little trade to do this afternoon. Can we find us a little trade this afternoon? Thank y'all for riding. If you've been hanging out with me, please go over to YouTube if you're not on YouTube already and subscribe to the channel. Follow us and subscribe, like and subscribe so you won't miss anything when I post it, right? Follow me on all those other social media platforms. We have a membership where we hang out together every day. We do a pre-market call. We do trading together during the day in our exclusive Telegram. We have a virtual power hour every afternoon. We do coaching every other Saturday. You're free to join that membership where all this stuff I'm talking about, the cash secure puts, the covered calls, all those things, we're doing all that stuff together in the community. So if it's there, you've got a community of people to trade with, and you got strategies that you're learning and using together. Community makes the whole difference. Say if you want to go far, go by yourself. But if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go together. Yeah, let's go together. We're trying to trade long term. So we want to be with a community that's going to keep us from, jumping into our feelings and into our emotions or picking bad trades, and somebody not to really hold you accountable because it's your money. But it's always good to have somebody to bounce stuff off of, to say, well, is this a good move? Maybe, maybe not. All right. We've got another hour and a half left. Now, remember, tomorrow, FOMC, we're going to hear about the credit rate basing the interest. There we go. That's the word that was trying to come out. We're going to hear about the interest rate hike or no hike tomorrow afternoon. So today has kind of been its own thing, right? Let's see if I can get the chart to fill in here for XSP, and it doesn't want to. So let me switch over to SPX and see if we can see what the market has done today. You can look. The reason I can switch between SPX and XSP is because the XSP is the mini SPX. So it's running the same way. It's running the same thing, right? It's just the smaller scale as XSP. It's the mini. Okay, so SPX has been going upwards all day long. Looks like as far as resistance goes, it's up at 45.89, but I want to say there was another one in here somewhere. I want to say 45.73, but looks like they might have passed that too. But 45.73 plus or minus, you always want to have, that every resistance zone is just that, a zone. See, something was slowing us down in here, 45.74. There's something right in there. That's a zone though. Right? Every resistance or support area is a zone, not necessarily just a hard line. It's a zone. But yeah, I see something right in the 45, 73, 72 area, right in that area. There is some support, and now it's support because price has passed through it, right? So now it's support. Let's go look at, so if we're looking at XSP, then we can take one decimal place off of that because it's the mini, it's 10% of it. So where SPX is at 45.79, notice that XSP is at 457.9. SPX is at 45.79, 4579 period. XSP is at 457.9. It moved the decimal one place to the left. That's a 10% move, right? So let's look at our single on the single chart, looking at our probability OTM. Looks like 457 has an 85% out of the money. That's looking good. Let's see what we come up with that. The price has been going up today, so we got an hour and a half left. You getting on the put side is probably a little safer than getting in front of it. Even if you're getting in front of it, we've got 88% probability out of the money at 459. 457, 459. Let's switch over to the vertical. 456, 457. Now it's only paying $3, and that's because the market is going, the price of the stock is going up. I'm going to change this to about $7. $7, which means you take in $7. You'd leverage your $100 of collateral. Max loss would be $93 because you have $100. You're going to collect $7 if this trade goes through, which price is still going up, so it may or may not. When you put in your trade and you go over here to monitor. You go over here to monitor. Come on. It'll tell you that it's working. So the price I'm asking for is the $7. The mark is $4. Okay, let's go back to the call side. What did I say? 459, 457, 459, I believe I said. Ooh, that's not really paying much money either. But you see this? What this says is that the price is not still running hard in any direction. It's kind of just sitting between 457 and 459. This is paying $4 here. I'm going to bump this up to $7 like I did the other one, right? So now there is no more collateral being used here. The $100 collateral was set up for the put side. We're going to take in $7 if the trade picks up. And I put in for $7 on the call credit spread side, but we don't add another $100. So at this point, what we would have is, if we did 7 and 7, we would have $14 we would receive with our $100 of collateral, which would be $86 because they gave us 14. If these two trades pick up, we'll see. We'll see. Let's go look at SPX though before we go. You might decide you ready to go with the big boys. You ready to run with the big dogs. I personally want to tell you once again, if you're not sure about how to do this, you need to do it in your sim. At the bottom of the screen, you see that strategy with the SPX. Please, please, please go and get some education on how to run this strategy on SPX. And I'm not saying that just so you can buy my stuff. I'm saying I know it can provide for you money every day, but if you play with SPX, it will burn you. SPX, don't play, right? It's the big boy. So there's a way to make it do. You can tame any wild horse, but you need to have respect for that wild horse. And SPX is just that. We can ready to have earnings. Microsoft today is having earnings. I think it's Microsoft. Yeah. Google is having earnings after market today. Snap, Shopify, a few people are having earnings after today. This is why I like doing daily trades. I can trade today, close up tomorrow. I can wait and see what happens after everybody does their stuff. And then I can jump in for something tomorrow. I don't have to worry about putting something on today, hoping it lasts a week, hoping the price don't go nuts for earnings, because those are called binary events. But let's look here on SPX and see what kind of numbers we got if we wanted to do an SPX trade. Looks like 45.70 has a 84% out of the money. And that's on the put side. And on the call side, you probably could go with 45.90. So they look at that. So we talked about 457 and 459. Those are the same areas here, 45.70 and 45.90. You probably could get a little closer if you're a little more, aggressive, but I will not suggest anybody get aggressive without training and knowledge. 45.70 is paying $35 here. This means you're leveraging, you're getting in the trade for $40, but your max loss is $460. You're collecting 40 and you're leveraging 460. If the price stays above 45.70, you're going to keep your $40. That's how that goes. 45.90. Over here, we got 45.90 as the other side that was there. It's only paying $15 right now. I wouldn't pay just the 15. I wouldn't collect just the $15. I'd adjust this a bit to pull a few more dollars in off of it. So now I put in 30 here. We collected 45 from the other side. If we collect 30 from this side, that means we're collecting $75 today. Your broker's going to give you the $75 immediately. And you're leveraging $500 to collect 75. And you're going to put your money on the market for an hour and 20 minutes. Okay, you're not even spending any money. You're just allowing the broker to reserve your collateral for an hour and 20 minutes. You aren't spending any money. The broker's just going to block that collateral like a deposit. When you get a deposit, when you go rent a car and they block off a part of your credit card till you bring their car back, that's the same thing happening right here. That's how selling works. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. I believe I've wrapped up. If there was questions, nobody put them in the chat. All righty, we looked at XSP and SPX. If you're looking at that strategy, please go ahead and grab hold to it, HOLT, grab hold to that strategy, and you can watch those videos this evening and be ready to trade those tomorrow. Right? You can get everything you need in short order, and we'll be right there in the chat, because once you purchase that training, you also get access to a Telegram group that supports you as you implement the strategy. Me and my team, we work in there to help support those who are implementing the strategy. All righty. I sure hope this has been beneficial and useful to you. We'll be back again tomorrow, 2 o'clock live. But we do two things in this community. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We do two things here. We stay green and we get this money. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.